everyone. I'm here to talk about some updates with Project Stray and Arena CTF and the CastleDoes channel in general. Uh, as some of you may know, I'm between jobs at the moment, where I'm waiting on my work visa to work at Digital Extremes, and I've been keeping myself pretty busy. Uh, all that checked off stuff is things that I'm working on with my current mod, Arena to Capture the Flag. So I am keeping busy. I'm always busy. So with that said, I'm actually working full time right now on a mod for Unreal Tournament 4. So this is me actually being able to go full out. So with all that said, a topic that has come up countless times recently for me is the whole Skyrim part. You know, that the selling of mods and all of the things, the back and forth that went on with all of that, and whether or not people should be able to buy and sell mods, and I mean I made a video back when things were first kind of exploding with that entire thing, but I've had a lot more time to think about it. And I'm somebody who has been making mods, maps and mods and all kinds of stuff all the way back. So, you know, since Doom or something like that. So when this topic exploded, it raised a whole bunch of things. Right now I'm working full time on a mod just because I feel like doing it. This is just something I feel like doing. And that's usually always how it goes. Well, with that said, there are a lot of different ways to monetize on mods, and I don't know if paywalls are necessarily always going to be the best way. But the attitude that the community had, the Skyrim community had, was actually extremely bad on so many fronts that I hope it hasn't damaged things beyond repair. And I know a lot of people who are, you know, really emotional about uh, allowing people to charge for mods. These people probably have never made a mod themselves and have no idea exactly how much work goes into it. So one of the arguments that comes up all the time is, well, if you want to make if you want to make money, why don't you just get a job? Well, how does that sound to somebody like me who already has a job and still makes mods? You know, I mean, is that something that's supposed to sound okay? So the topic just keeps going, but I don't plan to monetize anything directly ever for my mods, unless it's, you know, even in a situation with Unreal Tournament 4, I just don't feel like it's a good model for me. However, it's not going to always be the same situation for everybody. You know what I mean? It's going to be a difference. It's a situational thing. It's not black and white. This is wrong and this is right kind of a thing. Every situation requires its own attention. And putting this overarching, nobody should be able to do what they feel is right for themselves, blanket rule is total fucking garbage. So, in my case, I feel that with Arena CTF, or pretty much all of the mods that I've ever made, is that they start off small and they grow. Well, you really can't sell something at a paywall halfway up without causing an exodus, which is perfectly legitimate. Everybody has a wallet, everybody has a right to their wallet. So it's perfectly fine to, you know, walk away as soon as a paywall goes up. Paywalls only really work in a scenario where you have a lot of value front loaded and all of your testing was done internally, and then you release it like a game, like something that a team of people put together and now sold. Modding, on the other hand, is a slow trickle, and the only way that I've been able to really see it being, working for me when it comes to a slow trickle like that is through ad revenue, anything like YouTube or Twitch. Donations, ad revenue, and I mean, I maybe subscriptions, possibly if you have high enough numbers, but that's pretty much it. Just rewarding people for the traffic that they bring, having X number of followers, and that kind of stuff. And in the case of a company like Epic or something like that, it's perfectly understandable that, like, oh, I released the mod, and then the company, Valve or Epic, can go, check this guy's stuff out, and now all of a sudden I end up with, like, 30,000 followers or something like that because Valve told people to check it out. And then so that, boom, there you go. That's all the ad revenue and all the monetization that model would actually need. Here's the problem with that, though. Like I said before, not everybody works the same way. Not everybody can be social. Not everybody can even speak in front of a camera. In fact, it's really fucking hard. Not everybody can have a persona. A lot of game devs are not people like that. Some of the most talented people I know are not the kinds of people who are going to actually put themselves out there. So ultimately, the people who are bringing stuff to the table are the ones that should be rewarded, right? Not somebody with a, just because they talk in front of a camera, or I don't know. So I don't know. In my case, I don't feel comfortable putting a paywall on anything, but that's not to say that it shouldn't work that way for other people. If somebody else wants to work in that kind of environment, that's their choice, and I think it's absolutely wrong to tell them otherwise. And if it's an option that can exist today, which it can, then find another mod. If a company releases DLC for $30, nobody bats an eye. But if a guy releases a UI mod that greatly improves the game and sells it for $1, everybody loses their minds. Alright, so Project Stray, Arena CTF. Project Stray right now is still there. I haven't forgot about it. It's not going anywhere. How I'm thinking about Project Stray has changed. However, Arena CTF is taking all of my focus right now. Now, this isn't just a mod. It's not a mod. This is a statement. Not once in my past have I had the ability to both make a giant, like a level, and a fully playable mod at the same time, solo. The reason why I'm able to do this now, I mean, I'm able to work full time on it, but even still, it would just take longer if I wasn't working full time on it. Most of my time right now has been spent hacking around limitations with the system that are not necessarily, there's no reason for them to be there. These limitations are only existing because of a misunderstanding of exactly the full implications of what the system is capable of. And even with that, even with the current situation where I've had to spend 90% of my time hacking around the problem, I still managed to do this in like 2 weeks. I have a fully playable mod with a UI and a buy system and everything like that. It's still hacky, it's still not 100%, but 2 fucking weeks? 2 weeks! It's taken longer to do simpler mods than this. Now, I don't know if enough people, it really needs to be drilled into some people's heads. This system is more powerful than a lot of people are realizing. This isn't just a little bit of an improvement in the modding scene, and and maybe in a lot of cases I have to step back and realize, okay, it's not going to be the same value for everybody. It's not going to be the same. It's not going to be the same thing. Uh, for me personally, giving me this system like blueprints is like it's too much power, almost like out of control. For some people who are still new or have no programming background, or it may not have the same impact. Somebody who already is a programmer might not have that much of an impact. But if you take somebody who's in my situation right now, where I already have strong design experience, and I've already got like tons of experience working with this kind of flow. I've been working with trigger relays in the 90s, fucking all the way up to like multi-managers and fuck, even after a while, like at Ritual Entertainment, Sin was one of the first examples in the Quake engine to use this a C++ syntax for scripting within its game world. And then even in that case, you still had a visual scripting language that was located in world space. These boxes that were connected, you press Control K and they connect to each other. I mean, most of the scripting ended up back then being just connecting with delays. You have a trigger relay with a delay on it, and now the door closes. So anyway, with a background like that, and then just being able to take this sandbox mentality and apply it to blueprints, to me, this is way better. I've been trying to understand how some people are downplaying it. Well, anyway, back to my original point. This isn't just a mod; it's a statement. I'm saying, get this shit, keep improving this, all right, and you'll end up in a situation where people are just going to be able to make entire fucking Counter-Strike clones or God knows what in a weekend and still be able to do the maps, and still you'd be like, a team of 2 people who would have taken like 6 people before is now something that's possible for maybe 2 or 3 people. You've cut the number of people in half, which just sort of sounded like cutting people in half. But okay, anyway. So Project Stray was when I first started delving into the scripting system, and I learned a hell of a lot. And now I'm actually working on a modding of UT4. The support that the tech has is really good right now. However, the hackiness and things of that nature is something that really needs to be addressed. So this statement is necessary, and I think it needs to be drilled. I think it's time to just get a little bit more foundation stuff, and the end result is going to be shit that nobody's even. I still have people right now. Who are like, why don't you just become a programmer? Why don't you just I don't know. They're they're not thinking about it, or maybe they are. But what I'm doing right now was impossible before, for me personally. But I'm doing it right now. I don't know. What does that fucking mean to anybody else? But to me, that's what it means. I'm doing it. So I don't know. It's like a true or a false. Like, what's the difference between 0 and 100%? You tell me. Okay, so I've gotten some actual really good feedback on Arena CTF, and I'm going to be working on Arena CTF like fucking hardcore, right up until it's time for me to move. So Stay tuned. See how far I can take this. I think I may actually have it done, like in a good enough state where other people can make maps for it and stuff like that in like a very short amount of time. So yeah, uh, Project Stray is really just an original take on 1v1, which can be translated over to that gameplay, that style of play can be translated over to UT. So, you know, having the health bars up to the top, all that stuff, it's very doable. And UT4 already has a really fantastic foundation, and it would be much easier, I think, for me to do it that way. The only thing is that like I kind of want to try and have the weapons, you know, set up to. It would end up having to be an interesting take on something that already exists. But hey, you know, what I've learned working on Arena CTF already, it would probably take me half the time to do it again, to set up Project Stray again. So I don't know, but I've actually talked about weirder ideas. There's people talking about a lot of demand for having assaults back in UT4, or I've even just talked about doing something really weird. I've got a lot of experience working on survival, open world survival on Planet Nali. Just imagine, you know, finding a rusty flak cannon in a deserted Nali village. You know, growing Nali healing fruit and dealing with the scar and a crashed spaceship and like no fucking zombies. It's just crawl and gas bags and Nali cows. It'd be like the first fucking Unreal, but it's open world. To me that it sounds like it would probably be more popular than Unreal Tournament 4 itself. The only thing is in order to do that, I would have to have people. I would actually have to have help for that. I could do everything except for the creatures. I have to have somebody actually set up the creatures because I can't do that. So if somebody volunteered and said, "Hey, I can make all the creatures. I can grab all the old models from the old Unreals and stuff like that, and then just sort of give them AI and have them walking around," and I'd be like, "Okay, well, I can set up everything else easily." It would be really weird. So anyway, not to get too sidetracked on that. Last but not least. Okay, so as a lot of you know, I've left Unknown Worlds Entertainment last week, and in preparation of being everything like that, and I also just wanted to have time to work on my own stuff for a little while because it's kind of a rare opportunity to be able to do that. So I have the final footage of what I was working on with the Jelly Shroom Caves and finalizing that area and everything like that. I wish everybody on the team luck. The game has come a long fucking way, like a long way, and it's pretty fucking awesome. So take care, a salute, and here's the final footage. Oh, and one last thing, right before the final footage, I kept promising that I would keep doing streaming, and the only reason why I really haven't is just because it's super demanding. Like, I haven't really been able to figure out how to like juggle YouTube, game development, and Twitch at the same time. I haven't figured out the trick, which I guess kind of goes back to the monetization thing too, that I was talking about earlier, is that not only there are most devs probably aren't the kind of people who are going to be talking in front of a camera, I'd probably say maybe even higher percentage simply can't juggle you know, a YouTube channel is a full-time job. A Twitch channel is a full-time job. Game development is a full-time job. And each of these jobs all have a chance to be like 60-hour a week things. So I haven't been able to really figure out comfortably balance uh how to comfortably balance this yet. I I've brought it up in the past before. I, I keep thinking that maybe there's some kind of a trick, but maybe it really is just a brute force thing. Like, so I haven't really been able to do the streaming. I know I kept promising that I would stream while I was working on Subnautica. Uh, I don't know. Now that I'm working on a single project, I don't know. I'll see what I can do, but as far as streaming is concerned, I'm just spending so much time, so it's really been difficult. So, okay, with that said, enjoy the footage.